Welcome to Daily Conversation. This is Mr. K.
This is Eric.
Yeah, today is the 13th of May 2021 and the time now is 6:16 a.m. Well, today our topic is what is the sad reality of our generation? And before we get started, please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, so here we go. Yeah, so firstly, when talk about our generation, basically we are talking about generation Y and also generation Z, is it?
Mm,
Yeah. So, and then the first things coming to my mind is that um, for us, after secondary school, we all go to college and university, and I think more and more people, more and more students after secondary school, they will go to college and university. So, yeah, because more and more people go university and get the degree or at least the diploma or A level certificate. So, um, in order to get uh, these certificates, and then and also in order to have the competitiveness in our work, in our career, especially the beginning of our career. So going university is something uh, more and more necessary. So for this one, uh, the things that could be a problem, which is the student loan after graduation. Yeah, for this one, uh, a person that graduated from college or university, uh, uh, the first thing that they graduate, they leave the school, is that they carry a loan, carry the student loan with them, so they have to pay every month. So I think this is one of the burden to them, even before getting a good uh, salary job. And then at the same time, uh, because it is 20 something, so they may have planned to buy a house in these recent years, maybe is a few years after graduation, or uh, let's say 5 or 10 years after. But um, the house price, at least in Malaysia, I believe in every almost every countries in the world, uh, is increasing, and the price is very high, so that to buy a house become more and more difficult. Yeah, and then okay, for this one, why do we need a house is basically because we have the plan to start a family, to get married, or some people maybe they need to move to a place near to the city, so that they can work there. And then yeah, but the house price is simply uh, very high, and it's quite hard to afford. Yep, and then after talking about house price, uh, talking about getting married, yeah, after getting married, starts a family, but the problems still comes, which is uh, the uh, the the decision whether to have children. Yeah, for this one also related to money. Yep, and then yeah, as I said, life is already not easy because of so many living costs uh have to pay, and then if they plan to have a child, and then it's also very difficult to uh, uh, it's also a very difficult decision, and also will make the life tougher. It's not only money, it's also whether the time you spend with your child. Yep. And then we also came across a terms which is the DINK. So for this one, yeah, I think it will be more and more common, at least in Malaysia. Yeah, so these are the things that I want to talk about today, which is the
Mm.
sad reality of our generation.
Yeah. Uh, my consideration about this topic is almost same as you, and this is about the competitive level. And the first is about the education system, primary school, secondary school, and upper secondary,
Mm.
college, universities, and all of us like on the red trial, on the red trail. Yeah, we keep running. Yeah.
Mm.
So uh, and we keep running, and other people also keep running, and we need to keep our the distance we have run uh, longer than other people, and other people also want to do the same thing.
Mm.
Mm. So all of us on the treadmill. Mm. Treadmill. Okay, and then this is the education system. It's yeah, it started since we are young, we are kids.
Mm.
Some other parents will also send the child to the daycare, and then the teacher in the daycare
Mm.
will also teach the kids some knowledge so that they can learn those knowledge in advance, so
Yeah,
they wouldn't like uh, uh, feel
lack
so tough.
time.
So they won't like feel so tough
Mm.
when they go to the primary school. Mm.
Mm. Yeah.
So they can so they can adapt it. And after the college, after university, and you talk about the student loans. To me, student loan is not a problem because
Mm.
I get a waiver.
Mm. Yeah.
And I have one opinion, which is about this academics. If you really want to, if you really want to get it, and you actually can get it. And I know that because I'm not the talents in the past, and then I keep myself to get the result that I want.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah, in primary, in secondary, uh, I used to come last. I used to
Mm.
come last in my class. So maybe a lot of people they don't have this experience. They also don't have the experience of failing an exams in the trial examinations. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, I also failed my English in UPSR,
Mm.
the primary school leaving examinations in Malaysia. So
Yeah.
a lot of people didn't feel their English in primary school. Yeah. So and studying in college, in universities, it doesn't require you to have a high level knowledge of English. I don't have high level of English. I can't even speak. Yeah, I only can speak quite well 1 year, start from 1 year ago. So, but it didn't stop me to get a podcast owner. You just need to really spend time and understand all the subjects, and then just study it. Yeah. So to me, the student loans is not the problems, and also if the education fees will be a problem to you, so your consideration might be after I studies, after I go to the schools, I mean the universities, and then after that, after 3 years, how much money I can earn. And then if I didn't go to schools, how much money I can earn. So you need to compare these two in long term.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if in long terms, maybe like not too long, maybe you can recover all I mean your salary increments if you study the if you go to school, the salary increments compared to you didn't go to school is a lot, and then you can manage to recover all the opportunity costs like in 2 years or in 3 years times, then it's okay. Yeah, because it is a long-term investment on yourself. So this is about the consideration. If you think uh, the university's knowledge and all the things you learned will not help you, and then you still need to spend the money to study, and then the job the industry you enter, no need. Yeah. Don't need that degree certificate. So you just don't spend time to study, and then don't spend the money to study.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't mean that you cannot come back and study the I mean it doesn't mean that you cannot come back school in future. You still can do that. Yeah. So okay. So to me, the student loans is not a problem, but the problem is the education fee. The education fee keep increasing. Yeah. And how about the gap? If you don't go to college, your salary very low, and then you find you find no chance to increase your salary in long term. Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can. But you need a starting point. Your starting point will be very low, and you can grow from that starting point, and then yeah, and then you still can increase your salary, but it will become more difficult because nowadays people want to hire a person who have like the diploma or degree qualification or the certificate. So if you go to like something like a job street and also other job finding platforms, and then you'll see most of the job the at the requirement there they will say yeah at least diploma, at least diploma or at least degree.
Yep.
They'll mention this. So if you don't have the diploma certificate, how can you apply the job? Yeah. So why? Because now a lot of people go to a school and employer know this, so they can use this to filter out those people who don't go to school. Yeah. Even though go to school doesn't mean that you will learn the knowledge, you can do well at job, at the work, but they still do this because this is just a signaling, a
Yeah.
filtering. They use this to filter out. So it becomes the next, the job and the career. After you get the certificates, after you get a, let's say, like good result in university, you get a good certificate, and then you just go to another starting line. Yeah, you just go to another starting line
Yeah.
on the tray mail. Yeah, and at that time, everyone have the certificate, everyone have degree. Some people
Yeah.
have master, some people have like the professional certificates, or some have the license. The education also have some license.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you going to keep up those academic results, academic achievements? Yeah. So that if you are going to do that, yeah, it it still require time, it still require money.
Yeah.
And then so let us ignore that further academic achievement first. We just look about the job.
Yeah.
And if you go to the job street, yeah, you can see there are a lot of jobs, okay, but they also have a lot of applicants. If you have the experience of using the job street, and then you'll see no matter what country you are in, and after you submit your resumes or your CV, and you can see how many applicants have applied this job. Yeah, and you can see whether their education level is higher than you or lower than you, whether their salary requirements higher than you or lower than you or same as you.
Yeah.
And also their experience. And yeah, many people will just fill the fake information. Yeah, but we also can see there are a lot of people have a lot of experience, but they yeah and their education achievement same as you or maybe higher than you, and also they are required they request a lower salary than you.
Yeah.
uh, so you can see that the the market is so
Competitive.
competitive. Yeah, the job, yeah, the labor market is so competitive. And how about the market for entrepreneur? The market, I mean the free market opportunities. And also uh the business opportunities. They also find hard to earn money, to make money. There are a lot of companies. Yeah, so a lot of companies just can maintain their existence. They at the start of the year, they will be glad if they can answer the questions whether you are still alive, whether the company is still alive. Yeah, if they are still alive, it's good already.
Yeah.
Especially in this situation nowadays. Malaysia have another NCO. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is for the companies and also for the entrepreneur. And then how about for the job seeker and also for those employees? the existing employees, and then they will face salary cut from by their companies because business is so hard already. They can't afford to pay you that high salary. Yeah, even though the salary is not high initially. But they just need to cut the salary. Otherwise, they'll ask you to leave.
Yes.
Yeah, and there are more job seeker in the market, but there are lesser job. It's also because of the technology. Nowadays, we don't need that much job in the market. A lot of things can be automated by technology and also can replace by technology. We don't need a staff to sit in front of desk and do the job all day. We can use some software to replace the staff. Yeah, and this is the business opportunity and also the job opportunities. How about the investment opportunities? After you find so hard, get a good certificate, yeah, and then get a relatively good job, and then you earn some money, and then you want to do some investment, but you go to the investment market, you go to the stock market, you see everything, its price is so high. Yeah. So if you don't investments, then the price can keep going higher. If you do investments, the risk is so high, the price can drop. And also the growth is limited. Yeah, the percentage of growth. So that means the interest you can earn, the returns you can earn will be lower compared to in the past. Yeah, but you still need to do investment. No choice.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just use your labor to earn the income. You can't use your money to earn income. So you will work until you die. Yeah. So this is all the things which is so sad in our generations, and everything is so competitive. Yeah. Everything is in the competitions. But why we have this kind of world? Why we need to compete at this high level, at such high level? Is the direction wrong? Why we need to work so hard? We spend 10 years plus on educations, and we also need to spend 10 years plus on our child education. And then we also need to spend a lot of time at job and accumulate our experience. Yeah. And then we also need to study the investment market so we can make a good investment. Yeah. So all we did here, we spent a lot of times. Yeah, a few decades. A few decades, and then what you get? What did you get, and what will you get? A lot of people will be glad if they can answer the question in the next year, in the start of the next year. Are you still alive? Yeah, if you're still alive, then that's good. Yeah, so this is the sad things in our generation. They want to say it.
Yeah.
And just now you talk about the marriage, and I have a question: why marriage need a house?
Yeah, of course you can choose to live with parents, but
you can rent a house, right?
Rent a house, yeah. You rent a house may not be may not be wise in the long term, right? You pay for the rent and then you get nothing.
Is it really nothing?
Yeah, you get a place to stay, but how long are we going to uh to pay the rent? Yeah, if renting a house, let's say for more than 10 years, then actually the cost will be lower than buying a house, but the money that you pay just you have just spent it, and if you buy a house, it's something like the money you spend uh, is to pay the loan, and one day the house will be fully paid.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So does
Yeah.
it matter?
Yeah. At least at the end you own a house, right?
Yeah. So does it matter whether own a house or not own a house?
Uh. Yeah. I think it matter. Let's say if the house spend you 30 years to pay, to fully pay, and then
Mm.
if you buy it, let's say 25 years old or 30 years old, after 30 years you will be 50 something or 60.
Mm.
Yeah, so at that time if you own a house you don't have to pay the rental anymore.
Yeah. But if you rent a house and then you use the money that should go to the loan installments, I mean the additional money. The
Mm.
additional money that should go to the installments. You use that part of money to do other investments, and then eventually probably the investment fund will also grow to a certain level that allow you to rent a house forever.
um but that could be but to me I think the money that you can save from renting will not be a lot, because people that buy the house and then they rent out, they must rent out at a price uh, similar to the loan.
No, yeah, it's not the case.
Oh.
A lot of people they cannot rent their house because uh, a, a lot of people cannot
Mm.
rent their house expenses because the market is so competitive. There are so many houses in the market.
Mm.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just look at one statistic. Nowadays in JB, what is the housing price for a second hand double tiered house?
Mm.
Oh no, I mean a single a single tiered, yeah, single tiered house. So it's a 排屋. Yeah,
Mm.
it's around 300K to 400K
Mm.
Malaysian ringgit, depend on the location, and
Yeah.
some can even higher. Mm. Yeah, some good location like Taman, and also, for example, uh, Mount Austin can be
Mm.
higher than that.
Yeah.
Mm. And a few years ago, about 1 year, no, I think about 2 years or 3 years ago,
Mm.
and at that time I still live in Jalan Talatai, which is near to Taman Johor Jaya,
Mm.
and one of my neighbors, they sells the house at 315K.
Wow.
Mm. Yeah, and then they buy another house in Isanjaya, which is also quite near. But this is, I I think the house they buy is not the freehold length is something like the 99 years leasehold length.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. So it cost them about 600K to buy a
Wow.
double tiered house.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's not the main point. The main point is about the second-hand house. Yeah, it's about 300K
Mm.
to 400K. And then how much you can rent for the house, for that house? 1,000, 900, 800. My house also is a single tiered house.
Mm.
We pay 700 rental per month. Yeah, but our rental fee is below market rate. Yeah, so if you calculate like thousands,
Yeah.
okay, let's say you calculate 1,000, and if you 1,000 times 12 months, so it's 12K, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you use 300K, we just take the floor price. Just take the floor price, the lower price. We use 300K divided by 12K. Sorry, we should use 12K divided by 300K because I'm going to calculate the yield. Okay, 12K divided by 300K.
4%.
Yeah, 4%. Yeah. Is it hard to get 4%? Yeah. And are you willing to pay 1,000 to rent a single tiered house? Is it difficult to find? Yeah, go to the housing market. It is not difficult to find. Yeah. The market is quite competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go to some like the Muda and also something like the property gurus or some others,
Mm.
you can go check the renting fee, the how the rental cost. Yeah. And most will be 1,000. Yeah, of course there are more than that, but you just don't rent. Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of houses below this 1,000 per month. And to be bear in mind, you still need to those landlords, they still need to pay the income tax for this 12K per month. Yeah. So, and also the income they can get is not fixed. Yeah. If the tenants leave and then they need to find another tenant.
Yeah.
So this is the rate. This is the investment rate they can get at maximum level. Yeah. So 4% is the maximum level in Malaysia. I mean, in Johor Bahru. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it that high? Yeah. And then how much money you need to spend for the installments? We can go to some website. Let me see. If you type in Google search house loan, if you type house loan calculator, I see which. Okay, to me, I need to check house loan calculator Malaysia because all the research show in Singapore. Okay, the first result is the www.calculator.com.my. House loan calculator. Yeah, this is a calculator I used in the past. So let's say the property price. Are you on that website?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we calculate 300K is the property price, and because now we want to know how much installment we need to pay. So down payment we put 0. Yeah. Because if you want to buy a house, you also need some saving. You
Yeah.
also need to pay the down payment. But here we assume we can get fully loaned, so that we just look at what's the monthly installment we need to pay. So loan period is quite standard. We put 35 years, and then interest rate okay, to me, for my house, the interest rate is about 3 point something. So if we use like, if let's say we just calculate 3%, yeah, 3% in Malaysia is quite low. The interest rate is quite low, but never mind, we just use 3%. Okay, calculate. Okay, and then you see, yeah, 1 month you need to pay 1,100.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So yeah, if you look at this, it seems like it's quite good. Yeah, it's quite good. If we buy the house rather than rent a house. Because even though it's expensive than that, but it is expensive a bit, not a lot.
Yeah.
But if you kind of use my if you it yeah, because the 1,000 rental fee I mentioned is the maximum level. The maximum level you need to pay it. Yeah, and maybe you can get a 800. Maybe you can also get a 700. You can get like 750.
Yeah.
So the additional parts will be quite a lot. Yeah, if this is 800, so it will be 350 per month. So if we use like 350, if we try to search like those compound interest,
Yeah.
and then we put compound interest calculator. If we use 350 per month, initial investment we can put 0, and then monthly contribution we put 350. Length of the time we put 35 years. Interest rate we follow the market. Let's say, okay, never mind. We follow the CPF rate in Malaysia, so it's 6%. Okay, so that means you just do nothing. Every month you put in, yeah, because we know you can put in additional money in your CPF fund, right?
Yeah.
So it is 6%. Yeah, so it is something like the interest rate will be quite stable. Okay. And then compound frequency, if there's options, you can choose annually. So we calculate. Yeah, in 35 years. Yeah, it's 468K. You get the same amount?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
The same.
Yeah, so this is just 6%. And I believe after 35 years, yeah, because we calculate the case after 35 years, so that means in the first 35 years, the people who rent the house, they also top up additional money in CPF. In the EPF fund. So make it indifference to those people who pay the loan installment. Okay, so after 35 years, hello, are you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So after 35 years, the person who rent the house, they also need to pay. They still need to pay the rental, and for those people who buy the house, they have fully paid the loan installment, so they own the house. Yeah, but the people who rent the house, they have 468K, and then for those people who buy a house, they have the house. So if they sell the house, they may get a higher value. So, but here we are not going to calculate which one is more wise. Okay, after you sell your house and then how much money you can get. We are not going to calculate this. We just calculate after 35 years, if you do the same as a person, hey, and then are you able to use this 400K to pay the rental fee in your remaining life? Are you able to do that?
Let's calculate this one. If we divide some figure, let's say 1,500 or 2,000, can see how long we can survive, is it? Okay, so which figure do you think I put is appropriate? 1,500 or 2,000?
Are you calculate just about the rental fee, right?
Yeah, just about rental.
Yeah.
After 35 years.
Yeah, I think you can put 1,500.
Okay. So is 312 months.
Yeah.
Divided by 12.
26 year.
Yeah, 26 year. Yep.
Yeah. So and then yeah, of course this is not a good calculation because we assume our rental fee will be fixed at like 800 per month, 35 years. This is not realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here I just want to give you an insight, which is yeah, renting a house is not that terrible as you think. Yeah, many people in Singapore they also rent their house. And then you are renting a whole house. Yeah, if you can't afford to rent a house, how about you rent a room? Yeah. So that means your money contribution will reduce. So you can top up more money in these EPF funds. So the amount will grow even greater. Yeah, so you just reduce your living standards, your living qualities, instead of renting a whole house, and then now you rent a room.
Yep.
Yeah, you still can survive, right? In Singapore, many people do this. So, back to the first principle question that I asked you: does it matter to own a house?
Yeah, it is. It is not necessary.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You still can. Yeah, you still can survive. The difference is whether you have an asset or not. Yeah, but bear in mind you need to work 35 years for that particular asset. This is something you need to sacrifice, and maybe you cannot change your. Maybe you have. You may lose some opportunities because you're afraid to change your job. You need to pay the installment. You can't simply change your job. You still need to pay the installments. Yeah, and you cannot move to another state, another country, which have lower rental fee, right? Now we just and also now we just look at a single place. We didn't look at the geography factors. Yeah, for example, now in Johor Bahru, it will spend you 800 or spend you 1,000 to rent a house. But how about in other place, in other area? Yeah, in other area, maybe it will be cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you buy a house, you will fix your place in one area. You can't change your job if the work location is too far from you.
Yeah.
You will also lose some opportunities. Yeah. But this is not something we want to consider because now our consideration is whether owning a house is necessary. Yeah. and this is
Yep.
not necessary. Yeah, so back to the questions, why marriage need a house? Actually, it's because of the prestige. Yeah, because of the dignity.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and also there is some the signaling theory also can apply here, and then also the filtering theory, which is if you don't have a house, if you don't have a car, don't have a house, maybe you can't find, maybe you can't find a good partner.
Mm. Yeah.
Or maybe your partner parents don't want to don't allow their daughter marriage with you.
Mm. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is also the sad reality of of our generation.
Mm. Yeah. So it is same as the education system, is same as the job market, is same as the business market, is same as the investment market. And
Yep.
people also fighting for this. Yeah. So the real question is the direction wrong? Why all of us keep ourselves on the treadmill and then keep running and keep running, and it seems like there's no end game?
Mm.
Yeah. So this is the questions. Yeah, that require that that would us to spend times and think.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all for my sharing.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so that's all for our today conversations. How do you feel? Did you enjoy the conversations? What do you think of our conversations? Please tell us what you think of our conversations. And we are not native speakers. If you found any vocabulary mistake that we made, please also comment to let us know, because we want to learn more and improve ourselves. Remember to like and subscribe to us. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.